In just a few moments, see if you can settle into your seat. Take a few deep breaths and close your eyes. All of us have felt shamed at some point in our lives, for one reason or another, but few people enjoy it. And yet, we often find ourselves shaming others in a way that we would never want done to us. Why is this? I'd like you to bring to mind a time that you have said something in an attempt to shame someone else. It might have been a comment about their appearance, their job, their mannerisms, or something that they did that wasn't up to your standards. Do you have a time like that in mind? Now, I want you to turn those words back upon yourself. If you were criticizing someone's appearance, then what is it about your own appearance that you find unacceptable? It may or may not be a literal reflection. For instance, if you shame someone for being overweight, it might be that you feel that you too are heavier than you would prefer. But it might also reflect your fear of becoming overweight. It can also be a reflection of your judgments about someone who can become overweight. Do you feel that they lack self-control? So in what ways do you feel like your self-control is not up to par? Is it that they enjoy food or life in a way that you do not allow yourself to enjoy it? Do you criticize a person for not caring about their appearance because no matter how much you seem to value your own appearance, you are never able to see yourself as fully living up to the standards that you have set for yourself? Well, who has created those standards? Did you intentionally sit down one day and decide which BMI or skin color or hairstyle or way of eating food or dressing or voting or anything else was going to be deemed acceptable and which were going to be deemed beyond the pale? Was this a conscious choice? For the most part, probably not. And what is the value for you in maintaining these standards? Are you trying to live up to something so that you will get a reward? Is that reward the love and valuation of others? Did you learn earlier in life that if you don't look or behave in the right way, that your parents wouldn't give you the love you were craving? Or that if you didn't dress like your friends, they would ridicule you or shun you from the group? Do you feel like your acceptance and ability to access love and care from others is dependent on you being a certain way? And does your ability to access love and care from yourself depend on you living up to your own arbitrary standards? Bring to mind a time when someone has shamed you, when they criticized you and it really stung. Why did it hurt so much? Was it because you actually believed it to be true? We often deny it and say why the comment was so off base and that I know it wasn't about me, so it's fine. But if you remember it and if it stung, then it hit a wound. If someone on the street tells you that you look like a purple leprechaun, you would probably laugh and find it an absurd statement. However, if you had a belief that you are too short, or if you are insecure about your complexion, then you might take offense and feel that pang of shame for being who you are. But it's a nonsense comment. We can twist anything to hear what we need to hear. And in this case, it's pointing back to our deeply held insecurities. If someone tells you that they find bald people to be ugly, and you have a full head of hair, the comment will just roll off your back. Unless you are in some sort of relationship with a bald person, and then defensiveness might arise. But notice even in that defensiveness, if it is purely for the sake of your bald loved one, or if there's a hint of self-criticism that the other person might be judging you for being in a relationship with an ugly bald person, or that they're the best you can do, or that there's something wrong with your judgment that you actually find bald people attractive. we can turn just about anything into a self-indictment. Recognize any time that you're feeling the urge to shame others that you are pointing out your own insecurities. You are letting everyone know how it is that you view yourself, and you are telling yourself what you feel like you need to do in order to be loved. You are telling others that they are not worthy of love because of the way that they are, but that is only you reminding yourself that you think that you are not worthy of love the way that you are. Is this actually true? Why do you believe that love is contingent upon you living up to an unreachably high standard? Do you feel like if only you lost 5 more pounds, or earned 10,000 more a year, or stopped biting your nails, that finally people would accept you and give you the validation you need? Now, can you remember having set and met similar arbitrary goals for yourself in the past? And did you notice that when you lost the 5 pounds or quit smoking, that you still felt like there was something more that needed to be fixed before you'd really be good enough? Have you ever changed yourself in a way that was finally it? So can you see that you have created for yourself an unwinnable game where you can simply never be good enough to be happy? Where you can never be good enough to deserve the love of others? And even worse, that you can never be good enough to deserve your own love. How sad is it that we experienced other people withholding love and companionship from us, and instead of realizing that they were only acting out of their own reflective little bubbles, that we would then withhold love from ourselves until we could hit some unreachable plateau or perfection? Why are you doing that to yourself? What will happen if you lean back, give up the forcefulness, the urge to control, and just allow yourself to be as you are? Can you feel into the resistance that comes up to that idea? Make note of any excuses and arguments that arise so you can investigate them later. Once again, bring to mind a situation where you were made to feel shameful for being you. What do you feel in the body? Is it uncomfortable? Do you feel like you can stay here all day? Are you comfortable living from this collection of bodily contractions and other sensations? Do you recognize that you have been creating situations where you make yourself feel this every day unnecessarily? Every time you step on the scale, every time you check your bank account, every time you look in the mirror, every time you compare yourself to others in any way, shape, or form. Continue feeling these uncomfortable sensations, and while you stay with them, see if any memories, thoughts, images, or phrases pop to mind, and take note of whatever arises without judgment or criticism. What is this thought pointing you to? Is it a time in your life that needs your love and compassion? Is it a judgment about yourself now that needs to be heard and healed? Whatever is there, feel the discomfort of sitting with the shame sensations and placing your hands on the part of the body where the sensations seem the strongest. Send as much love to that spot as possible. If you have a specific memory about a time when you were shamed, send that love back to the younger you. Bring the full wisdom of your current state to be there as a wise, supportive, loving guardian. You are now the person who you needed the most back then. Sit now, continuing to give love to these parts for as long as you would like. And feel free to listen to this inquiry over and over again, as needed, to remind yourself what to look out for. And then, when you're ready, open your eyes and go about your life, bringing these new insights into your interactions with others and with yourself.